everyone. Welcome to another quarantine episode of the Adam and Chris Show. I'm St. Adam.
I'm Chris Malice. So today, what show's coming out next Friday on Amazon?
I don't know, Chris. Why don't you tell me?
Something like season 2 of The Boys. Season 1 was so fucking good. So today we're going to talk about the some of the differences between the show and the comic book and what could possibly be going on in season 2. So I'll give a little bit of a recap. You have a character named Huey who's out with his girlfriend. In this world, superheroes are owned by a gigantic corporation, and they're kind of lowlifes, or as I would like to call them, top feeders.
Well, superheroes being owned by a giant corporation, that's pretty much what we have today.
We've had that for the last, 60 years? Actually, it's usually two gigantic corporations.
I'm just saying, those corporations are owned by bigger corporations now.
Yes. So basically, there's a drug called Compound V that gives these people their powers. So when Huey's dancing around with his girlfriend or hanging out with his girlfriend, A-Train knocks. In the show, A-Train goes through her, turns her into paste. So from then on, Huey ends up being introduced to another one of our main protagonists, Bill Butcher, who introduces him to his group of friends called the Boys, where they basically spy on crooked superheroes.
Which are pretty much all superheroes.
Yeah. There's Huey eventually meets a younger woman who ends up joining the main group in the Boys, the main superhero group in the Boys called the Seven, and she is sexually assaulted by one of the characters named the Deep. And eventually she Me Too's him, and he has to get sent away. But the leader of the Seven is Homelander, who's like Superman, only really corrupt. So our heroes, of course, are trying to get all the background of these scumbag heroes, and eventually it leads up to a boiling point between Butcher and Homelander, because Homelander supposedly was involved with assaulting Butcher's wife or killing Butcher's wife, and then we come to a climax where Homelander shows off that his wife is actually secretly mothering a kid that Homelander had. So that's where we leave off. So, and we introduce superhero terrorists in that. Now, I'll say this: Carl Urban's Bill Butcher is amazing. He's great, and I love him. He's my favorite character in the book. But the actor playing Homelander, he hits so many levels of vile that it's almost admirable how well he does this role. He's actually, I think, the biggest the scene stealer throughout the whole fucking series. Every time you see him, you go, he's fucking evil. And then on top of that, you're actually kind of scared of him. So, which I think a corrupt Superman should be. You should be afraid of him because he can destroy the world if he wanted to. So if you've seen the trailers for the new season, it looks like after the events of season 1, the Boys are on the run, and they of course picked up another member of their team, the female, played by the ever so lovely actress who played Katana in Suicide Squad. So lovely. When she's locked up in a cage covered in dirt, you still go like, she's fucking stunning. So they have her. You have Mother's Milk. You have the Frenchmen, Huey and Bill Butcher. They're on the lam because of the events of season 1. And in this new season, we're introduced to a new member of the Seven called Stormfront. In the actual comic, it's a male character. They're not going to do Stormfront the way they did it in the original comic book because he was a white supremacist. And actually, Garth Ennis got the idea because there's a website like that named Stormfront. So it's a younger female playing Stormfront. I think what they're doing with her in this season is they're doing a thing where there was another character that had created superheroes, was trying to sell them as weapons in season 2, volume 2 of the books. And I think they're giving her that kind of angle, Stormfront, I think. So what did you think of season 1?
I liked it. It's very different from the book, where
It-
like the stuff that happens with her in the deep,
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
in the book, it happened with her in 6 of the 7.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you had that team that was kind of like the Teen Titans in there.
Yeah, the
The,
teenage kicks.
right, and one of them gets killed by Huey
Yeah.
because he has,
What
knows
happens
that
to
was green. He comes back as like a zombie.
No, that's Lamplighter.
No, I'm talking the Blarney Cock.
Oh, okay. When Huey and him fight, Huey and the boys get that compound V so they can have some sort of super strength, and Huey sticks his fist through Blarney Cock's stomach, and when he falls, you see this gerbil pop out of his tights. Garth Ennis is a sick fuck. One of the other big differences is on the show, is it Anna January? She gets comeuppance against the Deep. In the comic book, she is a punching bag for the Seven. She is, in that position where she, of course, when they first introduce her to the 6 of the 7, they all have their pants down. Like, hey, if you really want to join, and they're absolutely vile to her. So in this, she gets to come out on stage, and she pretty much publicly shames the Deep for what he did to her, and he ends up having to come to Ohio. And don't you find that great? Like when everyone in every movie, when they're talking about, here, you got to go to a shitty podunk area, Ohio. Awesome. Here, go to boring fucking Ohio. That's great. That's what we're fucking known for. But he basically gets told that he has to move away from the 7. So they introduced at one point Homelander went on about trying to fight terrorism, and somehow terrorists got a hold of the compound V and they're taking it. This whole thing was never brought up in the comic books, which I think is fucking interesting as hell. Terrorists with superpowers. So that's one thing that the show did. Another major difference between the show. The other difference between the book and the show was Becky's dead. Becky's never came back. By the end of the first season, Becky is still alive, Butcher's wife, and taking care of Homelander's kid. So I think it's a further way to amplify that rivalry between Homelander and Butcher. So,
well, do you think they'll go to Russia next season?
God, I hope so. Love Sausage was great. Love Sausage is fucking hilarious. He is great. So Love Sausage in the books is this Russian kind of like, he knows the boys and he's like a Russian superhero, and he's kind of well known because he's got a dick almost down to his down to his knee. He's just got this massive dick. And when they draw him when he's wearing his tights, you see it like dropping, like it's in his tights, being tucked away almost down past his knee. They're giving chase to some villain, and at one point they chase through a strip club. I was like, no, it's my weakness. I can't go through there. So it's got dick humor in it. So who cares,
Well, the one woman that was running the syndicate,
Yeah.
or whatever, what she does to relieve stress, it's pretty funny. Just the fact that Garth Ennis put it in there, but at the end of that whole setup, there's this bomb that Butcher finds, and you're like, where's he going to hide the bomb? And then I remember reading it, getting ready, I was like, no. When I turned the page, I'm like, holy shit, he went there.
Yep, he hides it in her dildo that's about this fucking, her vibrator that's like about this fucking big. And she's about 4'5". I think Stormfront's going to be taking over that character. They're combining her with the Stormfront from the comic books, which I think they're only going to do 4 seasons of the show. Unless, they can really drag it out. The book series went up to about 9 volumes. And there was a lot of great stuff in the book series, but I think also the thing with Stormfront is, as I said, they don't want the connotation towards what the actual character was, because actually Stormfront in the book is the guy that they get all the DNA from to make all the other superheroes, the soups.
Who, who was the Captain America prototype?
The guy with the black hair and the yellow and orange trunks.
No, the guy that was supposed to be like Captain America. He was a super soldier. He was in World War II.
Oh, I forget.
Because they've already announced they're filming season 3, and Jensen Ackles from Supernatural is going to play him.
Oh, sweet. You know what they could do is Stormfront could be like the main kind of antagonist for this season, and then he could be some level of antagonist for season 3. I think Jensen Ackles is he sounds intimidating when he talks. If you ever watched Under the Red Hood, he played Red Hood's voice, and he was fucking awesome.
Well, if you ever watched Supernatural, he's great in that.
So
My Bloody Valentine 3D, he was great in that.
I think he could be an intimidating opposing force to the boys. Maybe by the end of season 2, Void American decides that they're going to hire a superhero to go like directly after the boys, and that could be his character. So,
do you think they'll do Herogasm?
Here's my thing. That series goes there in a matter of seconds. What Herogasm is, for those that don't know that have not read the series, Herogasm is a big like vacation where all the superheroes go and they pretend that they're fighting some big alien threat, and they go to this like big rendezvous vacation where they do drugs, cocaine, and all that type of stuff, and break out into orgies. So I don't know if it's too taboo. That is, I believe that's where Homelander went after Butcher's wife was Herogasm. They were there. They went there for another vacation thing, and I think Homelander snuck in and got her, and impregnated her. And that whole story from Butcher Baker Candlestick Maker is fucking nuts. He got her pregnant and gave birth in the span of what, two days, and then the baby went after Butcher, and Butcher ended up killing it. Yeah, the series goes there. It goes straight there. It's Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis will take you to the gutter in a matter of panels. So, if you have easy sensitivity, don't watch.
Do you think the series, the TV show, will end the same way the book does?
Well, should we bring up what happens at the end of the book?
No.
Okay.
I know people that I've talked to who watched the show. I said, check out the book. It's even more insane. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone.
All I'm going to say is, like, I get what Garth was trying to do with it. I understand. Like, when I first read how they ended it, I'm like, what the fuck? And I've become more open to appreciating it now, liking it a lot more. I think as a TV studio, they're going to think twice about that, because it goes to a crazy area. So I don't know. I would do it just to keep true to the book series, because the honest truth is no one's going to be buying the boys merch, the boys toys, or maybe you can, but it's all going to be an older audience. This is something that just only appeals to an older audience. You're not selling it to kids. You can't.
Right.
So they might just be like, we'll just put it on the platform. That's it. We're not planning on selling a bunch of the boys TV show merch. I did like the camera shot that they did with that's actually from the actual comic, with the boys looking down at the camera, the original crew. So, and it's almost picture person for person placement what the actual comic looks like. I got it. If you see some of the early promo for season 1, if you look at my default page, it's that picture, and you look at that promo, like, damn, that's almost dead on. So great show. Season 2, I'm looking so forward to it. Are you,
Well,
Adam?
I don't know what to expect with the show. Again, the book was insane. I knew they'd have to water it down a little more for television, but
And this is streaming television. Okay,
right,
this is not
it's
broadcast TV.
It's not super watered down, so
Yeah,
I'll be checking it out. September 4th.
yeah. Now, a woman kills her landlord with, her gigantic ass. Smashes his head with her gigantic ass. While he's going to he's while he's going down there. So that's just some of the crazy that's in the show, and even crazier in the book. I would recommend the series. All right.
All right. Well, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Check us out on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you have anything you want to say about the boys' book or TV show, please let us know in the comments section below. And from the Adam and Chris Show, I'm St. Adam.
I'm Chris Malice. I'm going to add one thing. There's a new series, I think there's 4 issues in, that's being released called Dear Becky. I believe it's a letter from Becky or Butcher. It's a limited miniseries. Check it out.
Well, before we give the final goodbye, Garth Ennis has done a lot of things his own way. Do you think we'll ever get a Crossed TV show?
I don't know, man. That makes the boys look tame. And what's crazy is David Latham, when he did his run on the Crossed, he took what Garth Ennis did and took it even more to the gutter. It was crazier than what Garth Ennis actually did. You got to be really pushing to out Ennis, So.
Well, there you have it. If you haven't heard of The Crossed, be sure to look it up. And again,
Crazy
from the Adam Chris Show, I'm St. Adam.
And I'm Chris Malice.
We'll see you later.